Howdy. I'm sick. I've got allergies, really bad allergies. You know, seasons, they change, so I'm in a lot of pain. But my pain that I feel physically cannot compare to the emotional, borderline spiritual pain that I'm experiencing right now because of something that happened a week ago and I haven't quite recovered yet. But I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about this because this is, it really is something. Not only was this entire interaction so painful, but it was borderline the biggest scam I have ever seen in my life, and it's almost impressive. You know, pyramid schemes are on their way out, you know, they're old, nobody wants to do that, but this is new, the new thing, the new it girl, and boy was it painful to watch. So a really popular streamer by the name of Adin Ross decided that he wanted to do something unique, something crazy, and his big thing, his big idea, the idea that get him oogles of doubloons, was to invite Playboi Carti onto his stream. Playboi Carti, a really well-known musician and performer, so you know that's a good one to get under the belt. But what was the price? What was the asking price that Playboi Carti wanted? Well, apparently if you want to have a stream with Playboi Carti, it's gonna cost you, and it's gonna cost you $2 million and a Ferrari. Not even kidding. So Adin Ross agrees for some reason. He says, yeah, Playboi Carti, come on over. Let's have a stream. I'll get you $2 million. I'll get you a Ferrari. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna make so much money off of the stream. So Adin Ross waits, and he waits, and he waits, and he waits a really long time for Playboi Carti to show up. And here's the thing. The wait isn't something to scoff at because he didn't wait for like 20 minutes, not even a full hour. He ended up waiting hours, plural, for Playboi Carti to show up. So understandably, him and a lot of other people watching the stream were kind of upset that it took so long for Playboi to show up. But nonetheless, he shows up and they meet in this weird dark room for some reason. I don't know why they decided to do that. I don't know why they didn't get better lighting. The best way to describe it, it's like purgatory. It's the best way to describe it. The waiting room for heaven and hell, which I think is a little bit ironic considering the hell that was about to incur as soon as Playboi Carti arrives. And the thing is, he shows up, he walks in playing music of some kind for some reason, you know, big dramatic entrance. Makes sense, Playboi Carti's a performer. So you know, you've got to perform. But he does that, and then they start dancing, and that was the highlight of that stream. Because it all went so strangely downhill from there. First off, Playboi Carti shows up in like, it's like a off-brand Batman suit, covered head to toe in black mask, black suit, black gloves. And the thing is, he's in a black room. I mean, there's no light. The only light that's really there is the light from like the computer. That's it. So you really can't see Playboi Carti in the video at times. You might even mistakenly think that he's not even there. For a second, it was really hard to spot him. It was only when I turned my brightness all the way up did I see, oh, there he is. But it was just so bizarre because it was very clear within the first couple seconds of the meeting that they don't have good chemistry together. And you know, that's fine. You don't have to have great chemistry. Some people just don't have that. But at that point, you'd think that they'd try to, you know, try to find the middle ground so that they can do some entertaining stuff. And spoiler alert, they never did. It was so painful because Adin Ross at least tried. He tried to give a performance. He tried to make it entertaining. Playboi Carti just didn't. Put no effort in, which is surprising, because he received $2 million. The stream ended up lasting a whole whopping 6 minutes. That's it. 6 minutes and he was gone. And the entire time he was on stream, he was either huddled in the corner like some gremlin, not responding to Adin Ross at all. Adin Ross at one point asked how was the Grammys, no response, and then kept asking questions like, hey, try to talk with me, man. And for the most part, he just really didn't. And on the very rare occasions that he decided to respond, they were just so... they were basically like one-sentence answers. That's it. The conversation was just incredibly dry, and then near the end, Adin Ross pulls out a whole bag of money. He's like, here's that money I promised you for, you know, the entertainment that you're supposed to provide me. You remember that? And then Playboi Carti was like, oh yeah, I remember. And then grabbed the bag and dipped. He danced, grabbed his money, and then dipped. Hey, what's going on? Oh, is that my money? Awesome. Yeah. And that was just the entire stream. And it was so unbelievably painful to watch. And you could tell that it just sucked so much for Adin Ross, because within that short span of 6 minutes, first he shows up and Adin Ross was, you know, a little bit upset, as you would imagine, but it only gets worse because in that very short 6-minute span of time, you watch him go from like annoyed to like royally pissed off. It's like a man on the brink of insanity. It's crazy just how much he changed within that short span of time, and you know, understandably so. And so, as you can imagine, Playboi Carti is getting absolutely clowned on online to a tremendous degree, because it did not look good on him. Because at least, listen, I don't watch Adin Ross. I don't really know anything about the guy, but you can tell within the very short stream that occurred that he at least put an effort or tried to engage in conversation, try to be entertaining, and Playboi Carti just didn't do that at all. So at the end of the night, the tab was massive. It was $2 million, a Ferrari, and no content to be found. And I don't think he gave him the full amount of the $2 million, which, you know, fair, but he still gave him a ridiculous amount, because it was like a duffel bag full of cash that he gave him. So money was definitely lost in the transaction, and nothing else received in return. But just looking at it from my perspective, it's so, I just don't understand how something like this happened, because it's Playboi Carti. He is a performer. He does perform. He performs in front of like thousands of people. And so he has to be like accustomed to that kind of energy and drawing in the crowd. And I understand that streaming and, you know, being on stage and everything, it's different, you know, and it's likely that some of those skills don't really transfer over. But at the same time, it's $2 million, man. You know, at that point, you just gotta fake it till you make it. Money is a great influencer, and you thought that would give you like that boost, like Popeye when he eats his spinach, just gonna go like, oh, time to be entertaining. And then he just didn't. He I don't know. He just went like poof. If anything, his spinach was laced, because he like shut down. And it's like it wasn't even awkward. I don't even think that's the best way to describe it. It was non-existent. It was like a shell of a human just sitting there in the dark, in the corner of a room. I had a hard time watching the stream because it was just so painfully awkward. It was just so hard to watch with my eyes. It's kind of like when your friend invites their friend over, and then your friend steps out for a little bit, and you're stuck with this acquaintance that you've never met before, and you really don't know how to start a conversation. It was like that, but for 6 minutes. And again, $2 million. At the end of the day, it ended up being a not really good stream. It became famous, so maybe that's where the $2 million came from. Maybe the true money and the true stream were the friends that we made along the way. But at the end of the day, was it a failure? Who knows? Let's leave it up to you. If I was Adin Ross, I'd say, yeah, this was a failure. But at the end of the day, we're just gonna have to see what happens with Adin Ross in the future, and Playboi Carti more specifically, because his reputation does not look very good right now. But we're just gonna have to wait and see. But that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, if indeed you still are. My name is Brockster, and I bid you all adieu.